has been 5 years since voters passed Measure C, a new hotel tax to pay for homeless programs, street repairs, and a convention center expansion.
After a very lengthy legal battle, it is now moving forward. Mayor Todd Gloria joining us now to explain the recent court ruling and also why he says this is actually a big win for our city. Mr. Mayor, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning to you both.
First of all, remind everybody, because it has been so long, I think, what, 5 years now, what was Measure C?
Measure C is a modest increase to our tourist tax. So this is a tax paid for by people who come to town and stay in hotels. That money, as you mentioned, primarily will go to modernizing our convention center, as well as to making new investments in road repair and in homeless services. As you mentioned, approved by the voters in 2020, 65% of San Diegans said yes to doing this. This was litigated in the courts for the last 5+ years. Very frustrating, but the outcome is an unqualified win for San Diego for expanding our economy and addressing the urgent needs of fixing our roads and housing the homeless.
You talk about a win. How much money are we talking about for the city generating?
This is hundreds of millions. I mean, this is a tremendous amount of money for modernizing our convention center, and then over a period of time, we start with a larger investment for homeless services, and then over time bring in a shared amount for streets and roads. So this is tens of millions annually to the city's general fund for those specific purposes, not for discretion. The voters were clear. Modernize the convention center, roads, homeless. So those two flavors of money coming in to help us fix more roads faster, as well as house more people, get them off our streets for good, is great. What I'm very excited about is this ability to finally have clarity on moving forward and investing in our convention center. The convention center is over 40 years old. We need to start making some investments, new roofs, new kitchens, new heating and air conditioning. That's going to be what allows us to keep businesses that are already utilizing our convention center, like Comic-Con, and bring other new businesses to town. This will grow our economy, bring more tax revenue that will allow us to do even more road repair, more things for our community.
All of that ultimately helping the city. Explain the legal wrangling here and what happened and why it took so long, because I think if you remember 5 years ago, it was supposed to get a supermajority. So this is all math. I mean, it was almost at that 66, whatever, and it got 65%. So it was a battle over like a 1%. Explain how that happened and how that turned into a 5-year legal battle.
So in California, if you have a citizen-led initiative, it only needs 50% plus 1 to pass. If it is placed on the ballot by politicians, it requires 2/3. This is a citizens' initiative. We understood it as such, and the courts validated that. There were some in the community, a handful, a very small number of folks who have access to the courts, and the courts move slowly, and so they litigated this question. We won every step of the way, and we now have this wonderful win. There's always the potential for more litigation, but the bottom line is we have won for the last 5+ years, and I'm grateful that 65% of San Diegans' direction to people like myself is now been validated, and we can get on with the work of modernizing our convention center and increasing our investments in homeless services and road repair.
So let's talk about all that stuff. Yeah. Convention center. When will we start to see the improvements here?
So the next step is that we have to adopt a clarifying ordinance. I know that's the most boring sentence you've heard all morning, but it is the next necessary step in our legal process to do this. That will set up a series of timelines, et cetera, to get this work underway. We have been collecting this money since May of this year, so we have a good pot of money to start with. And Shali, the most urgent thing is to modernize our convention center. I'm not talking about expansion, I'm talking about replacing elevators, doing the kinds of things that make sure that we have a first-class experience for our customers that utilize that facility. Additional discussions about other things for the convention center will come later, but the immediate and almost now kind of situation is what can we do to make those repairs to make sure the facility is running at tip-top shape.
Like weeks and months, are we talking?
Yeah, I mean, we've been collecting these funds in anticipation of this outcome. We're ready. We have to have that clarifying ordinance. We need some updated quotes and estimates. You know, here's the thing about 5-year delay. It's very expensive. What things cost in 2020 is not what they cost in 2025. So we have to figure out what our money will buy today. But the bottom line is this: we have a host of deferred maintenance needs in that convention center that we need to get started on ASAP. This decision allows us to do that.
And the battle to end homelessness, to help the homeless community right now, that's been ongoing.
Yeah.
How much money is going to go into that? What are the new plans for that? And going back to the street repairs, homeless programs, and convention, how do you break down the money into those categories? Is it your discretion, or is it?
It is not mine. It was set by the voters. It's very clear. 59% convention center, 41% for homelessness in the first 5 years, and then the remainder is 31% for homeless, 10% for roads. So that is prescribed by the voters. We can't deviate from that. That's what we'll do. But that 31% today for homelessness will help me do what we've been doing, which is resulting in the reduction we've seen in our annual count, as well as the cleanup that you see in downtown. And Raul, this is very, very important. The state of California has its own budget challenges. They essentially zeroed out what they give cities like ours for homeless services. So this is a godsend at a very important time as the state and even our federal partners, because of the shutdown, are pulling back their assistance for this population. This will allow us to bridge that gap until both of them get back in the game.
You brought up the shutdown, and before we get to that, because this is going to start impacting people more and more. You said 10%? Was it 10% for streets? 10?
10 for streets starting year 5. So 5 years from now, 2030, we'll start having that flow of ongoing funds for road repair.
Street repairs doesn't see this money for what year is it?
2030? Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me, I could use that today, but.
Okay, all right. Just keeping track of all these dates and years, because it obviously has an impact on people. Let's talk about this shutdown that's happening now. How is this impacting San Diego?
Well, the most immediate impact is on our military families and service members, not being paid. It impacts travelers to San Diego International Airport, the air traffic controllers, the TSA agents. Those are some of the immediate things. If this goes on longer, this will become much more impactful to our city. We receive tremendous amounts of federal funding. Frankly, the people who provide those, who write those checks, who accept our invoices are not on the job. That will get caught up eventually, and then that will mean that we'll probably have to dip into our own pocket and hope that the federal government will reimburse us at whatever point they get back to work. But right now, the impacts, and sadly, are unfortunately on those who wear our nation's uniform, which is absolutely unacceptable. But given that there's not a lot of hope, we don't see the kinds of positive conversations that give us a sense that this will end in the next few hours or days. We're having to take precautions now about what we can do to preserve city services, recognizing that we, again, count on a fair amount of federal funding to run the city.
Let's talk about one final thing that's a little controversial. The parking rates downtown. A lot of people have been just up in arms, very unhappy about this. The surge pricing, is that going to continue? Is that kind of the plan moving forward for folks down?
Sadly, because the Padres didn't make the playoffs, the answer is no to that. We literally, for the rest of the year, have one more day in the rest of the year that we'll experience the surge pricing. But here's the thing, Raul, we have seen no change in people's behavior. They continue to park in downtown. And why do they do that? Because at the time previous to this new policy, we were charging $0 after 6 p.m. For these same parking spaces that the private sector was charging $45, $65, $100. And I think every taxpayer in the city should be furious when we take the asset that we collectively own and give it away for free when the private sector can make $100 or more. The ability to just price ourselves somewhat competitively in the market yields hundreds of thousands of dollars that will go back to fix roads in downtown San Diego, repair streetlights that are out. This is important for your viewers to know. That money does not go to me. It stays in that neighborhood, and that neighborhood who experiences those parking and traffic challenges will benefit from those higher rates.
But just going back to the continue, once next season, the baseball season starts, that will be ongoing.
When we have a major event at Petco Park, so that could be a Padres game or a large concert, that's when it applies. Otherwise, it does not apply. And I think sometimes the coverage, not saying you guys, does not reflect that. The vast majority of days, we're talking about $2.50 an hour. On those days of major events at Petco Park, then you are talking $10 an hour.
All right. A lot going on, obviously. Mayor Todd Gloria, we thank you for the time.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.